Funny. All right. It's time to begin. Let me move this over here for a little bit. Hello. Welcome. Today is the day that we begin the end of Doki Doki Blue Skies. We're going to be starting the Yuri route today, and hopefully, within the next couple weeks, we'll be finishing the game. Quick disclaimers that I have to give up before we start, though, okay? Number one, it's a very spoiler-heavy game. So if you're interested in it, I suggest picking it up for yourself. Let me type in this little cool command I just wrote here. If you want the base game, you should play the base game before playing the Blue Skies mod. That's what you're intended to do. You can find the base game at ddlc.moe. And then if you want the mod, you can get that at blueskiesmod.com. It's very cool. It builds on the world of Doki Doki Literature Club. And if you're way into Doki Doki Literature Club more than you should be, like I am, then you will probably really like this mod. So yeah, if you're interested in the mod, please just go play it for yourself. Play it for yourself, come back, watch this later. You can find the VODs for all of these streams on my YouTube. And you'll be able to find both the Natsuki playthrough and the Sayori playthrough that we already did on the VODs on my channel. And these VODs will also be going up there as well. Speaking of past playthroughs, we have already played this game through like twice. So obviously we already know some things about the world. There's gonna be some spoilers. So again, if you're not into that, maybe back on out of here. I'm gonna try my best to refrain from talking about past playthroughs. So I'm gonna try not to spoil anything from Sayori or Natsuki's playthroughs. However, I am going to be skipping through things you've already seen. So a lot of Act 1, we're going to just, blow right over and completely ignore. But I'm going to do my best to, try to summarize the events that happen in the scenes that we skip to the best of my memory. Which, I had to do that once before in a Natsuki playthrough, and it worked so well. But I did my best. Either way, it'll be funny. Anyway, I believe that's everything. We're gonna be playing this game, by the way, today, tomorrow, and the day after. My plan is to play this game in I'm gonna do streams of this game in 3 stream chunks, and then a break in between something else, and then another 3 stream chunk of Blue Skies. So I feel like that's the most efficient. That's the most efficient way to get through it, and it gives people time also to catch up on VODs if they miss anything and all that good stuff. Anyway, enough of me just blabbing my gums. Let's go ahead and actually play the video game. I just remembered that I need to change something, because this game does not full screen. It's bad for me to full screen this game because it doesn't work good. We'll just set it to auto, whatever. It just looks poopy, it's whatever. Open the game. I did not remember to set up ahead of time in terms of layout. How does this sound? Is everyone liking the sound of this? Let me turn this down some. That's grating for my ears, even. Settings. Sound volume down. Turn music up just a smidge. So I believe the rest of the music in the game, the music is very varied in terms of volume. It's loud, it's quiet, it's everywhere. So it's kind of hard to set up everything. Oh yeah, I'm gonna skip Halloween. I'm gonna censor nudity. Nudity for obvious reasons. Halloween because we've already seen it twice now, and it's just a little fun thing. Nothing happens afterward. Okay. Let's go ahead and start our new game. All right. So in this beginning part, we see Monica. Monica talks to us, and she's like, "How come I can't change the script?" Oh, I get it, because you downloaded the mod. Do you really want to play the mod? Yes. Okay, I get it. All right, and so she's like, "Okay, I get it. I'll submit to the mods control." I blew through a section of that, We wake up, we learn that our parents are divorced, that our mom works overseas or something. I don't know. She works away from home. She has to travel a lot, so we don't get to see her very often. We're a lonely dude. Sayori is our childhood best friends. We see each other for the first time again and decide to start walking to school together. Which is just like the original game, so if you've already played it, which you're supposed to, then you know what that's about. Sayori encourages us to join a club, very much like the vanilla game. I always consider these games to be 2 separate games. Also, this is Sakurai. This is our homeroom teacher. He's cool. That's Emmy. Emmy's annoying, and she runs track, and he keeps trying to recruit people to join track. Sayori comes by to make sure we're joining clubs like we're supposed to be. She drags us up here. We run into girl 1. Into the club. All sorts of cute girls. And I believe it pretty much just plays out like the original, except for this one part right here where we need to get a reading recommendation. Let me turn the audio down some. We need to get a book recommendation, and we have our choice of who we want to get it from. We got it from Yuri last time. I'm just gonna get it from Yuri again because we're going with Yuri. So Yuri recommends Portrait of Markov. And she's like, I don't know if you'd be into this, man. We're like, nah, I'm sure it'll be fine. She recommends Portrait of Markov. And we talk with Sayori for a while. And then Natsuki brings us cupcakes, and we actually get to see them in the mod, which is cool. This part kind of plays out just like in vanilla. Tea happens. Yeah, this mod has a lot of world building. So even though scenes in the Act 1 loosely play out exactly the same as they do in the vanilla game, it's still... my brain's dying. Even though it plays out loosely like it does in vanilla, it still takes like a year to get through it all. So there's just way more detail. And then we get home, and we have to write our first poem. And also, this is the transition that happens between days. Very cute. I love it a lot. But the volume is so low that you guys apparently cannot hear it. Yeah, the mixing is not the greatest, I would say, in this game. That's okay. Okay, I'm gonna save here. And we're going to make Yuri fall in love with us. Let's see. We need complicated words. Universe. Luckily, Yuri's words are very easy to pick out. Disarray. Infallible. Vibrant. Unrequited. Maybe not. Crimson. Desire. Vivacious. Abstract. Extraordinary. Nope. Precious. Whoops. Effulgent. Heaven sent. Judgment. Eternity. Memories. No. That's Sayori in disguise. Prayer. Apparently also Sayori. Mausoleum. Frightening. That's Sayori. Tragedy. Nope, still Sayori. Okay. Then here's Monica being a sarcastic asshole. Sefji, fancy meeting you here. Yeah, fuck off. Hang on, I forgot to open the voice mod. Any voice mod open for Monica's voice? It's been so long since I've had to do their voices. This is exciting. Let me just have this ready. Oh, I have voice mod on. That's why I'm louder than usual. So if I turn that off, am I quiet now? Check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. No, it's about normal. Okay, never mind. Well, it's not staying on, I guess, to be fair. No, it's like slightly louder. Anyway.
Hey, okay, everyone. It's actually fancy meeting you here. I'm an asshole. Haha.
Anyway. Yep, so Yuri comes over and is like, hey, welcome to the club, all that good stuff. Let me know if you need any help. Natsuki gives us a hard time. We talk a little bit about my relationship with Sayori. We talk to Yuri for a minute. She's got some downtime. Sayori and Monica are having a conversation in the corner, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then here's our first conversation with Yuri. This is the first time we have something we haven't seen yet. Here we go. I'd love to talk to Yuri a bit more, especially after she gave me that book. However, she seems to be focused on her own book. I'm worried I might just distract her. As she lifts it up to turn the page, I get a glimpse at the cover. It's the same book she... I'm gonna turn myself up a bit more. It's the same book that she gave me, and it looks like she's only just started it. Ah. Oh, damn. I hope she doesn't think I was staring at her. Our eyes meet, but her eyes dodge away quickly. Sorry. No, it's fine. I didn't mean to stare. I was just spacing out a bit. Oh. Well, if I had been actually concentrating, I wouldn't have noticed. I meant to ask, though, isn't that the book you gave me? Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorites, so I thought I'd give it another read-through. Not for any other reason, I assure you. I see, but why do you have two copies of the same book? Well, I know I lent you the book yesterday, but I figured you might feel more comfortable with your own copy. I know that I always feel more at ease when I'm handling my own belongings. If an accident happens, there's less at stake than if you damage someone else's property, so... you're probably less clumsy than I am, though. Yuri, the ever-graceful girl, thinks that she's clumsy? Nah, I'm pretty sure I'm just as clumsy as you, if not more so. Oh, right. Anyway, after our meeting adjourned yesterday, I went to the bookstore to get you... that is to say, I forgot I already had a copy and accidentally bought another, and it seemed like a waste to just hold on to it. Couldn't you have just returned it, though? Definitely, I love that he's just like, I definitely didn't notice that you said that just now. Protagonist. Always dense. Bricklayer in his mind, living there rent-free. They'd already closed, so... There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. Oh, maybe he is aware of it. I'm shocked, actually. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm glad that you gave it to me. I'll get started on it right away. That makes me happy to hear. It's the kind of story that really draws you in. If you're not careful, you can lose track of time very easily. I know I've opened it for some light reading before bed, only to close it and find out the sun's rising. I'm sure that won't happen to you, though. You'll be able to get enough sleep as usual. That is, unless you generally find yourself lacking sleep, in which case you should go to bed earlier. But you can do whatever you want. I don't mean to overstep my bounds. Don't worry about it, Yuri. I'll be sure to read it earlier in the day. Do you mind telling me a bit more about it? Oh, I'd love to. Now, where do I begin? Yuri delicately closes the book, her eyes scanning the cover. Well, actually... I don't think I could give an adequate explanation on my own. If I were to tell you more about the story than I did yesterday, it would lose a lot of its impact. Forgive me if it sounds like I'm brushing you off. That's not what I intended. It's alright, Yuri. Come to think of it, you did summarize it well enough already. Yes. I'm sorry, I seem to get lost in my own mind whenever I talk about these kinds of stories. Don't you have anything like that, Sefchi? I guess so? Yuri nods with a delicate smile. Everyone has a deeply held interest that stirs the passion within their heart. I suppose for me, it would be my novels and... Yuri cuts herself off, as though she were about to say something she didn't want to. Well, you know what I mean. What got you into these sorts of stories, though? I gestured towards the book in her arms. Do your parents enjoy them as well? Yuri pauses for a moment, shyly looking down at her feet. She seems to be going over what she wants to say in her head. I've always had an interest in the macabre. This genre can easily throw you for a loop. While many stories are simply content to introduce an antagonist and condition their reader to root against them, Books like this one can find ways to flip that narrative on its head. So, while you might initially find yourself relating to the protagonist, you might suddenly find out that they're their own worst enemy. I'm rambling, aren't I? Please, forgive me. I really should try to think about others more. Yuri, I promise, I'm not mad at you. You're just passionate, which is pretty cool. It is? For brief moments, a tiny smile teases at the corner of Yuri's mouth. Well, I'll try not to worry about it too much. But sometimes I get distracted when I think about books and writing. I forget where I am, and I can start speaking my mind. So please forgive me if I say anything unusual. And if I seem like I'm not paying attention, please let me know. I really don't think you need to worry about that, Yuri. This is a literature club, after all. Isn't that the sort of thing we should be discussing anyway? I suppose so. So on that note, would you like to read a bit together? You don't need to force yourself to spend time with me if you don't want to. But what if I do? You really want to spend your time with me? Of course, Yuri. That was an awkward reading. I don't know how to be human. It's like, of course, Yuri. Book in hand, I slide into the desk next to Yuri. Is everything okay? Yes. I'm horny. I'm terribly sorry, Sefji. I'm just not too accustomed to reading in company. It's usually been a solitary affair for me, you see. Yeah, I can understand how this might seem a bit unsettling for you. If it gets too overwhelming, just let me know. I won't be offended if you need some space. Alright. I open up the book, allowing the hardcover to flop against the desk. Sorry, it's the only hardcover I have. Hardcover. Anyway, as I read through the prologue, I notice Yuri glancing over to my book. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't comforting in a way, but it's somewhat distracting. I'm sorry. I hope I wasn't distracting you. Yuri, why do you apologize all the time? You've really done nothing wrong. Do I? I can't help it, I suppose. It's like an involuntary reflex. If I preemptively apologize, I'll lessen both my disappointment in myself as well as the others' disapproval of me. I didn't mean to make things so awkward. Sorry. Fuck! I mean, it's okay. Don't worry about it. How about we do this? I push out two desks together, then slide my book between the two of them. I suppose that'll work. Yuri puts her own copy away and shifts a bit closer to me. I steady the right side of the book between my thumb and forefinger, and Yuri does the same with the other side. Perfect. Now we can both go through it. Perfect. Now we can both go through it at the same pace. I'll learn to read someday. Yes. The two of us are huddled closely together over the book, carefully reading it. I can see Yuri's gentle face in my peripheral vision. She has a stern, focused expression, her eyes slowly scanning each page. Do you need a bit more time with this page? Sorry. I guess I'm not really too quick of a reader. I look over and our gazes meet. There's a coy sparkling to her eyes. It's quite alright, Sefji. We can go at whatever pace you're comfortable with. After all, you've been so patient with me today. It'd only be fair for me to return the favor, wouldn't it? Thanks. I'll try not to take too long. The two of us continue reading in relative silence. Even though we're so quiet, each turn of the page feels as though we're connected. As I let go of the page, it gently floats over to her, and she delicately slides it under her thumb. Sefji? Having been absorbed by the story, Yuri reels me back in. Sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. It's fine. What were you gonna say? Well, I suppose I just wanted to thank you for this. I had always hoped I could find someone to share my interest in books with. I've never really had anyone read with me before. Having someone else be there is nice. Really? I would have thought you'd at least done something. I would have thought you'd at least done some reading with your family. Yes, well, I did when I was younger, but... She trails off, not finishing the thought. I decide not to press her further on it right now. Yuri takes a slow, deep breath. I burped, and she burps out mac and cheese. I'm just happy that you're here for me. I mean, with me. Not that I wouldn't want you to be there for me or anything, but I can't believe I've messed up things up again. I fucked up. I'm so stupid. I'm an idiot. Fuck me. Wait, Yuri. I don't think you've done anything wrong. If anything, I think of that as a compliment. You do? God, Yuri's my spirit animal. Jesus. Because as much as I love ragging on friends, I'm always scared of taking it too far. I never really know exactly what to say to people. Anyway, sure, if I'm being honest, I enjoy your company as well.
Okay, everyone! I think it's about time we shared these poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long.
Oh. Yuri sighs dejectedly, looking down at the floor.
Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this.
It's not that. Don't worry about me, I'm alright. Yuri lets go of the book and closes the cover, handing it back to me. We got through a fair bit today, didn't we? Do you mind if I continue a bit further on my own? Or would you prefer that I only read it with you? You don't have to limit yourself on my behalf if you want to keep reading. After all, I've already finished this story before. Then I guess I'll continue reading a little bit tonight. Then we'll have a bit more to talk about tomorrow. Yes, that's a good idea, Sefchi. Just be sure to let me know how far you get so I can avoid spoilers for you. Alright. I skim through the book to find the page we left off on and fold it in slightly to mark for later. Dude! You just dog-ear a book? What is wrong with you? You monster.
By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right?
Don't worry, I'm not that much of a slacker. I've got it right here in my bag. Alright, and we've seen this before, so I'm gonna start skipping again. Okay. First day of poems. I'll go through Yuri's, and maybe Monica's just because it fits with the story, but I'm gonna... Oh, apparently I haven't done this before yet, actually. It's different. I should probably read that then. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. Oh, this is different. Okay. Yuri's eyes seem to sparkle as she reads my poem. My goodness, this is unparalleled. I think that might be a bit much. Oh, forgive me if that didn't sound so sincere. Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. Yuri.exe is not working. Yuri.exe has encountered a critical error. What would you like to do? Reboot? Open in safe mode? Run diagnostics? Don't sweat it, Yuri. I just wasn't expecting to hear such a compliment from you already. I see. Yuri clears her throat. Well, I just wanted to say, this is truly an impeccable poem. Yuri glances down back at my own Yuri glances down back at my poem. So, I assume this isn't your first piece, am I correct? Your composition incorporated a lot of beautiful poetic devices and imagery indicative of an experienced writer. Hydrate. You got it. You got it, buddy. Water. Hydrating. It's very important. Hello. Hello, Carlix. Alright. I'll read that one more time. Your composition incorporated a lot of beautiful poetic devices and imagery indicative of an experienced writer. That's like a tongue twister of a line. Damn. Well, I hate to disappoint, but this is kind of my first time doing this sort of thing. You're joking, right? I shake my head. If I ended up writing a good poem, it's totally coincidental, I'm afraid. I see. Well, in that case, I think you've got a wonderful gift. Although, if you would like, I could offer you some advice for your future poems. Yuri's eyes light up, as though she's been looking forward to this. Please do. I need all the help I can get. I know we've read this before already, but I'll read it again. I've just noticed a few qualities consistent with newer writers that showed up in your poem. Perhaps what stands out the most is that you've tried very hard to make the structure of this poem your own. And that's okay, but if this is the first poem you've written, it might be prudent to consider more traditional structures. Couplets, sonnets, haiku, and the like. If you're not confident in your writing style, it'll show in your piece. Man, it's like Yuri is a totally different person once she gets going. She sounds incredibly confident and stands tall, speaking clearly. Again, that's not your fault. I think that once you've studied poetic structures and techniques a bit more, you'll be able to put together a truly wonderful composition. I appreciate the feedback, Yuri. It sounds like you're well-versed in this sort of thing. Would it be okay if I took a look at what you've written? Oh, goodness, of course. Please let me know what you think. I'd be thrilled to explain my process. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? We've already read this before, so I'll just read it fast. Tumble. Hail falls down like discarded dust of overused emotions, dragging down blankets made of want. Slender string pierces my eyelids, barely painful, and pulls them shut. Ever so heavy, ever so heavy. I think I've misplaced something. Is there a piece missing? You need all the pieces to fix something. Please don't look for it. There are more important things for you to do today. I'm sorry if my writing's a bit illegible. Once my pen touches the page, I want to get my thoughts down. Oh, it's fine, Yuri. I was able to read it just fine. I wasn't thinking that at all. Are you sure? It seemed like to take you a while to read it. Well, I guess I don't see cursive often. Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't skip things, I accidentally double-clicked. I don't like poetry. I like poetry. Not enough to go seeking it out, but I appreciate it. But it's really nice when I do. Your writing's actually quite pretty. Is that so? I'm glad you think so. It made your poem stand out even more as well. It's as though your handwriting fits your word choice, or vice versa. Almost as if your font choice. Almost as if the font was designed specifically for you. Almost as if I've made this joke once before. Maybe even twice. It wasn't too short, was it? I'm used to writing longer pieces, but since it's the first time we're sharing, I thought it'd be easier to share. That makes sense. Do you mind telling me what it's about, though? I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to write something confusing. Oh, it's not that. I just want to be sure I'm reading it properly. I see. I suppose from a cursory glance it might not be obvious. But part of what makes poetry magical is how you can conjure up a vivid image with your words. While on the surface it might seem a bit out there, if you look a bit deeper, you might be able to find a deeper meaning hidden amongst the lines compounded by the metaphors used. For example, the words and images in this poem aren't meant to be taken at face value. In actuality, it's supposed to represent the last remnants of something lost to the past, and the sense of plaintive longing that comes with it. Huh. That's pretty impressive when you put it that way. You really think so? That might be a bit much, Sefchi. No, I really mean it. I think I could learn something from your poetry, Yuri. This is new. It's not letting me skip. Really? Yeah, of course. You know... At first, the prospect of sharing my writing was terrifying, but I'm really glad I was able to do it. Hopefully I can write another piece that you'll like, Sefchi. I'll look forward to it, Yuri. Cool. Interesting. So we got an extra line of dialogue because we picked Yuri first. Okay. I'm pretty sure the rest of them are going to be exactly the same, so except for maybe like Monica's, so I'm just going to skip through this one. That's the wrong button. Natsuki. Can't skip. Okay. Sefchi, if you're actually not going to try, then you're better off just leaving the club. Jeez, you don't beat around the bush, do you? Why should I? This is just plain bad. Hey, do I look like a writer? This is my first ever poem. Yeah, it's probably garbage, but I still tried. If you're so confident, let's see the first poem you wrote, huh? Hard to think about? Oh, fine. I'm, sorry if you were offended. Way to avoid a direct apology. I'm very good at that. I don't like apologizing to people. But next time, at least try a little bit harder. Nowhere to go but up, right? Yeah, sure, whatever. Just read my poem. Knowing you, you'll probably hate it. I've already read it before. And skip through the rest. No cursing. And I gotta check to see. I don't remember how long that lasts for. I have to check. How long does no cursing last for? $10 minutes? Okay. So for the next 10 minutes, I can't swears. No swearsies. And if I do swear, I'll slap myself. Alright. Now for Monica.
Yeah, hi, Sepchi.
Yeah, whatever, skip. Okay, so she read my poem.
Mm-hmm. Good work, Sepchi.
Really? You can lay the brutal truth on me if you want. I have skin like leather. Okay, your poem is...
Okay, your poem is really stupid. You don't have to be so harsh on yourself. This is your first time writing poetry, isn't it?
That it is.
It usually takes a while for people to become completely comfortable with their writing. And even then, they're constantly evolving their style and changing things up.
I guess that's true. Either way, you shouldn't have high expectations for me. If you don't, my poems will seem better when I actually put in some effort anyway. I muttered that line half-jokingly to myself, but it seems like Monica's still picked up on it.
Sepchi, that's not very fair. More importantly, though, you should have faith in yourself.
Sorry.
Anyway, about your poem, the subject was deeper than I expected out of you.
You just don't understand the troubled genius of my angst-ridden mind.
That might have been so. I guess we have two troubled and angsty geniuses in this club, then.
You're talking about Yuri, right?
Mm-hmm. You wrote in the style very similar to Yuri's. Her writing is full of imagery and symbolism. While Sayori and Natsuki like to use simple and direct words to communicate their messages, Yuri likes to use complex diction and syntax to allow readers to derive their own meanings out of it. In other words, her vocabulary and sentence structure are usually quite involved.
Huh. Yeah, that sounds like her, all right.
Mm-hmm. It might be a bit tough to understand her writing at first, but what seems opaque actually has very deep meanings behind it.
Yeah, the themes of Yuri's poems were definitely hard to even figure out. I read that in the complete wrong voice. Yeah, the themes of Yuri's poem were definitely hard to even figure out. She sounds like the sort of person an English teacher would love.
Don't worry, Sepchi. If you just give her writing a few read-throughs, I'm sure you'll find that they're far from incomprehensible.
So you say, but I'm dumb as bricks. I have a bricklayer in my head who makes sure of it. Are you sure that my writing is similar to hers? I think it's an understatement to say that I'm nowhere near her level yet.
Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll end up doing a lot of different things before I settle my own style. But not really. And now we skip through. Okay, so now comes the part where Yuri and Natsuki have their argument. It's a little bit deeper and more meaningful. There's a new line of dialogue here. So there's actually more background and build-up to the argument than there is in the vanilla game. So yeah, they each try to give each other advice, and they don't really appreciate each other's poems. Natsuki's over here like, look, I know what you're trying to do, but it won't work on me. I'm sorry, but I don't quite understand. This kind of thing only works on amateurs like Sepchi. Ouch. I don't like where this conversation is headed. That's a different line. Oh, okay, I see. She says that line because she didn't like my poem. Okay. So now they have their argument, and it's very different from before. And now we actually, instead of picking between the two of them, we have to pick who we get to settle this matter. And I kind of like the story better when we choose Sayori. So Sayori steps in just like she does in the vanilla game, and she gets the argument to stop. And then we actually talk to Monica, and Monica's like, that He's like, yeah, she admits that she's not the best with people, and she's like, God, I fucking failed. Like, I'm the president. That's my job. I'm supposed to break that up. Sayori had to do it for me. And we try to comfort her a little bit, but, she is right. Like, it's her job, and she kind of did blow it a little bit. Anyway, they wanted the club. And now we have to write another poem. Vivacious. Contamination. Extraordinary. Fuck. Fester. Unstable. After image. Wrath. Incapable. Despise. Agonizing. Frightening. Anxiety, I think, is Sayori, actually. Could be her, though. Yeah, that's her. What, did I swear? Did I say a swear? Hi, Albiero. Thank you for the follow, man. Welcome. We're just, we're playing some, Blue Skies, man. Did I say the F word? Okay. I'm not allowed to curse for another 5 minutes. Okay, universe. Hopeless? Whoops. Grieve? No, not Sayori. We're going for Yuri, dang it. Massacre. Portrait. Tenacious. Uncontrollable. Disarray. There we go. Hey, thank you for the follow and for the host. How very kind and thoughtful of you. It is greatly appreciated. Okay. Real quick, since we have more people coming in, let me just toss some things up here. First of all, this is a mod of Doki Doki Literature Club called Blue Skies. Please play it for yourself if you're interested in it. And then also... what was the other thing I wanted to say? Oh yeah, we've already done playthroughs for... Carlix, thank you for the host as well. We've already done playthroughs for both Sayori and Natsuki. Those are on my YouTube channel if you want to look at those. I'll put that in the chat as well real quick. I'm gonna do my best not to talk about anything from those routes. I'm gonna try not to spoil anything from the Natsuki and Yuri route, the Natsuki and Sayori routes. But I primarily mention it because we are going to be skipping through a lot of anything we've already read from Act 1 of the game, so we can get to Act 2 a little bit quicker. We're only going to stop to read like things that are different and like things that are probably going to come up later in the story. Anyway, all right, so right here we have a conversation with Sayori about food. It's pretty much just like vanilla, there's just more detail to it. And now we're hanging out with Yuri. Hello, Yuri. Oh. Hello, Sefchi. Yuri places the book she was reading down on her desk. I'm not interrupting you or anything, am I? Oh, not at all. Were you hoping to continue reading together? Well, yes, actually. Would that be alright? Oh, of course. Before we get started, would it be alright if I made some tea? Sure. What did you have in mind? Perhaps I could show you? Yuri stands up and drifts towards the back of the room. She opens the cupboard and retrieves a glass pitcher. I'll just be a moment. Is that alright? Yeah, take your time. Yuri turns to leave, but then suddenly wheels back. Oh, I almost forgot. There's an electric kettle in the cupboard here. Would you mind plugging it in for me while I'm gone? Sure, see you in a bit. This time she leaves the classroom for real. And she never comes back. She's nervously clutching onto the water pitcher, yet she still appears to make long, elegant strides. It's really quite astonishing to see. She almost looks graceful. Almost.
Oh, where's Yuri off to? You didn't scare her away, did you?
What? No! At least I don't think so.
I'm just teasing you, Sefchi.
Right. That's not really what I'd call a good joke, but I don't argue. Monika's sense of humor is just mine, just delivering sarcastic shit in a... just delivering sarcastic lines in a dry tone, so you can never tell if it's sarcasm or not. I'm gonna have to add a marker for the no cursing thing for later. I'll have to highlight that later. Anyway. Yuri wanted to make some tea, so she went to fetch some water.
I see. Yuri's very proud of her tea set. Has she shown it to you yet?
Oh, not yet, no.
Maybe you should ask her about it. Tea's a big passion for her, so I'm sure she'd be happy to talk about it a bit. Who knows? Maybe it'll help you get closer to her. Wink.
Monica giggles. No cursing, it's been 10 minutes, and that has been fulfilled. I can swear again! Fuck yeah! Does this mean that I can't swear as well? No, you guys can swear all you want. Monica giggles.
I'm just messing with you again, Sefchi.
At that moment, the door to the clubroom opens, and Yuri walks back in with a full pitcher of water.
Ah, speak of the devil! Well, I won't keep you any further. Have fun with Yuri.
Monica walks away, and Yuri approaches me. Is everything alright? I'm sorry for taking so long. You're fine. Monica's just telling me about your tea set. A delicate smile plays across Yuri's face. Yes, would you like to see it? Monica must have been telling the truth. She genuinely looks excited to share this with me. I'd be happy to, Yuri. Sefchi, do you like oolong tea? I don't really have a preference. I'm sure whatever you give me will be fine. Very well. Yuri sets the temperature on the electric kettle to at 200 degrees. She then grabs the back of my head and slams it down on the bun. I'm Scarface now. She then begins measuring out tea leaves into a strainer. Monica wasn't kidding. You must really enjoy this, huh? Yuri smiles shyly, blushing slightly. Yes, besides reading, tea is a true passion of mine. A piping hot cup of tea alongside a gripping novel? Doesn't that sound wonderful? Yeah, I guess it does. I have to admit, it's kind of fascinating seeing you be so exact with everything. I'm that way sometimes. Most of the time, honestly. Tea is an art, Sefchi. It's a delicate dance where each step must be perfect. Even the temperature of the water needs to be precisely 200 degrees. Really? The tea I make when I haphazardly plop a tea bag in boiling water seems fine to me. Then again, I guess Yuri's making tea with high-grade ingredients. Once the water is boiled, Yuri adds it to the pot and carefully steps... Once the water is boiled, Yuri adds it to the pot and carefully steeps the tea leaves. She hums to herself delicately and pours out a cup for each of us. It's nice seeing you like this. What do you mean? You just seem so relaxed, like you're in the zone. I see. Expressing myself really isn't as hard as I thought it'd be. I'm glad I get to do this sort of thing with someone else. Especially someone as delightful as yourself, Sefchi. Eh? I'm sorry if that sounded weird. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's really okay, Yuri. I want to do all this with you. It's kind of new for me as well. Maybe a bit of company will make it easier on both of us. Yes. Thank you for being so patient with me, Sefchi. Yuri really doesn't have much self-confidence. Been there. The least I can do is let him be herself a little. Maybe over time she'll grow more comfortable around others. Sefchi, would it be okay if we sat on the floor today? I don't see why not. Any particular reason why, though? I can rest against the wall and read instead of leaning over my desk. I often have back pain, so it'd be a little easier on me. Oh, sure, I don't mind. Thank you. Sometimes it can be a real bother to have, that is to say, based on how she's acting, I think I can guess what she might be referring to, but confirming that would probably make her feel even more embarrassed. You mean you have terrible reading posture, right? I can't imagine hunching over your backs like that so much is too comfortable. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. So if we were to sit on the floor, yeah, that makes sense. Let me just get the book. I retrieve the novel alongside a small bag of chocolates. Yuri carries over our teacups and places them on the ground, sliding down to the floor. Soon enough, the two of us are in the same position as yesterday, each holding one side of the story. There's three sides to every story, yours, mine, and the truth. Would it be okay if Yuri shifts closer to me until our shoulders are touching? No, as a matter of fact, it is not okay. Cooties. Her thick purple hair flops over my arm as she peers over the book. I think I like Yuri being a bit more assertive. Here. Yuri reaches over with her free hand and presents me with my teacup. I carefully accept it, taking great care to avoid her chest as I do so. Boop. I slowly let go of the book and raise the teacup. Yuri subconsciously moves her hand underneath it to better balance the book between us. Her gaze is completely focused on the pages below. It's almost as if you can see the story being scanned word by word in her eyes. As she continues, I take a sip from my teacup. It has a soothing floral flavor, and it smells wonderful. Yuri wasn't kidding. This really is quite relaxing. Once I've finished my tea, I take a chocolate from my bag and fiddle with the wrapper. After I've clumsily disposed of it, I pop it into my mouth. I got some chocolates here. Would you like one? Oh, I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to accidentally get smudges on the page. That's a good point. Sorry, I hadn't thought of that. My bad. Oh, it's quite alright. I can hold the book for us if you'd like. Yuri grabs the other side of the book and holds it between us. Before I know it, she's transfixed in the story again. I don't think she's noticed, but her arm's resting on top of my leg. I take another chocolate from the bag and raise it up to Yuri's mouth. Were the dust particles animated before? There's like moving dust particles. I like this a lot, actually. This looks really nice. I feel like there hasn't been anything like this in the game yet, except for like that one scene later on where there's snow, like during the winter time. Interesting. I take another chocolate from the bag and raise it up to Yuri's mouth. Without looking away, she parts her lips. I don't know if she even realizes what she's doing. But she's expecting it now. I have to follow through. I timidly place the chocolate in Yuri's mouth. As she continues to read, she closes her lips around it. Huh? Aw. Looks like she just realized what happened. What? Except Yuri blushes deeply, looking up at me. Sorry. I wasn't really thinking. No. You were trying to make me feel more comfortable, right? Suddenly I feel really nervous. Yeah. I just thought you might like some. Yes. If that's the case. Then I wouldn't mind another. If that's alright with you, of course. Totally, yeah. Yuri tries to look back at the book, but I can tell she's unable to focus on it. I can feel my heart trying to beat out of my chest. Stop it! Stop it! Stay in there! You're not allowed to leave, I'll die! Things have gotten really tense. I reach down and take another chocolate. But this time, Yuri's eyes meet mine. Was this how things were supposed to go? Yuri doesn't look away. There's a soft pleading in her eyes as she blinks slowly. I raise my arm. Like before, Yuri parts her lips. This is so uncomfortable. However, this time, it feels a lot more intimate. Her breath is gentle and warm on my fingers as I place the chocolate in her mouth.
Okay, wow, what do we have here? Get a room, you guys. Come on.
Yuri jolts back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make things awkward. We do need to share poems now, though. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Great. Get things put away? Put your dick away, Sefchi. Jesus. And you can join us shortly. Put that away, that's gross.
I don't know why it got me as much as it did, but... Oh, alright. I love how, like, weirdly casual she is about it. Like it's a daily occurrence. Anyway, Yuri and I sit there, dumbfounded. I guess I can take care of the teacups. Yeah. Yuri picks up the teacups from the floor. I pick up the bag of chocolates. Without another word, the two of us clean everything up. I don't know if either of us will have the courage to bring this up in the future. Okay, and we're here. A boop. Whom should I show my poem to first? I mean, I probably Yuri again, right? Let's see what you've written for today. Yuri says the poem with a surprised expression on her face. Do you like it? Safchi, I'm stunned. How is it possible that you're already this skilled at writing? It was but a day ago that I was trying to give you advice, and now you've already seemed to master it. Perhaps you're a good teacher, Sensei. I really took your advice to heart, and I tried to compose a great piece with that in mind. Yuri visibly swallows. She coils a slender lock of hair around her finger, twiddling it nervously. You thought of me? Sorry, was that weird? That was kind of weird, wasn't it? No, how do I word this? It's fine, take your time. Yuri breathes and collects her thoughts. I know that Yuri likes to think before she speaks, so I offer that patience to her. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Having someone value my opinion like that. I know it might sound foolish, but the fact that I was able to inspire you is incredibly humbling. And I suppose in a way, it just makes me really happy. Wait, surely you've shared your writing with others before, right? Yuri shakes her head. Seriously? You're really talented, so I would have thought you would have... That was a weird reading of that. Seriously? You're really talented, so I'd have thought you'd have shown your writing to others. I primarily write for myself. And besides, I highly doubt people would seriously enjoy my writing. Do you really think that? Yuri nods solemnly. You really haven't shared it with anyone else? Not even your close friends? Yuri doesn't respond to that. I wonder why. Playing those bricks! Anyway, could I look at your poem now? Yeah. Yes, of course. If you really want to see it. I can't remember if this is the same or different, so I'll read it. Resist. A whimsical tiny... What the fuck does that say? A whimsical tiny... I have no idea what that says. Is that a C? Yeah. Hang on, I have to Google this word. I have no clue what this word is. Does she mean concise? No. Is it cerise? Is it an R? Oh, yep.
Cerise.
Cerise. A bright or deep red color. I learned something new today. Cool. Okay. A whimsical tiny cerise friend. Yeah, this is definitely different from last time. Sleeps along my amber bookend, dreaming about a sanguine day. Where the fuck does that say? Mirrored, I think? Yeah, where mirrored, slender lampposts play. She beckons me, her hand extends, piercing pupils readily rend? Yeah. Oh god, this is gonna be an entire playthrough of this, isn't it? She beckons me, her hand extends, piercing pupils readily rend, azure channels bend and twist, cautiously held above the wrists. However, she finds her advances shunned, always Always crackling, always stunned. Never able to draw the lance. Across my arms, she's never danced. Oh, is this talking about cutting? We know Yuri cuts. Perhaps it would be for the best if I laid her down the rest, whilst I haven't given in to painful pleading from within. I think that it might be smart to save the song of fumbling hearts, lest tears make me dizzily fall, and answer her violent, virulent call. I felt a bit guilty after yesterday's argument with Natsuki. I wanted to experiment with my style a bit more. Hopefully it's not too confusing. No, it's fine. Even if it's a bit more involved than yesterday's, I still like it. I'm noticing a lot more symbolism as well. I don't want to assume anything, but the tone of this poem, I'm not sure how to describe it. Yes. I really wanted to test my abilities in creative expression. I didn't go too far, did I? No, it's really good. I just don't know if I'm good enough at this to deduce the meaning. If I had to explain it, I'd say it's about a closely guarded secret. I imagine everyone has a little something like that, something they're forced to keep to themselves for fear of ridicule. It's nice to be able to write about that sort of thing every now and then. If it's something you enjoy doing, shouldn't you write about it more? Well, it's not that simple. It's something I'm uncomfortable talking about. Definitely cutting. I'm not sure people would understand. If anyone would find out about it, well, I guess as long as it's not hurting anyone, people shouldn't pry. Do you think so? Sorry, I just was thinking of something. It's a good point, though. The best I can do is try to embrace my own weirdness, right? Otherwise, I think I'd hate myself. I'm sorry to keep you so long. Thank you for allowing me to ramble. There aren't many people in this world like you, Sefchi. When I share my writing with you, I feel like you genuinely care about what I have to say. It's nice having someone who listens. That might be a bit much to say, wouldn't it? It's just, I'm not really used to it. I rarely feel comfortable about my writing, let alone the idea of sharing it. But with you, it just feels so easy. It's nice. Thank you for helping me with that, Sefchi. It's nothing, really. Yuri shows me a genuine smile. A newfound sense of self-confidence seems to sparkle behind her eyes, if only just for a moment. Aw, we're helping her out. Cute. I'm very curious about Natsuki. What does Natsuki have to say? Well, it's better than your last one. But I still don't like it! It's trying too hard to be serious. Huh? What do you mean? Poems don't need cryptic and deep sounding to be good. So the grammar in this mod isn't perfect. It'll just sound super dumb if you don't suck at it. Honestly, just don't try to write like this until you're on Yuri's level. Natsuki pauses as if she just realized something. Oh, don't tell me. What? You're just writing this to impress Yuri, aren't you? What? No, I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm just writing. Yeah, writing exactly how Yuri would write. She would love crap like this. You know what? No. Natsuki shoves my poem back at me. I don't want to do this with you anymore. If you wrote a poem for someone else, don't show it to me. Well, that just happened. I guess this was destined to happen. I never really understood what Natsuki tries to get out of me. At least she wasn't the girl I was trying to impress. I love how it's so simple. So, I will say this, because I don't really think of this as too much of a spoiler. And it's gonna... Well, I'll explain it later. Just in case there's anyone in here who doesn't know. Sayori, we can skip.
I'm pretty sure.
That's the wrong button. Yep, and Monica. Okay. So, if you read Natsuki's poem, you realize that it's literally just not a poem about Natsuki flaming Yuri. Where Natsuki just really lays into Yuri, and protagonist just like, Nat, you can't show this to her. That's a terrible idea. You're just gonna make everything worse, and she has to try to avoid showing it. And I'm interested to see, so I'm actually very interested to see how this plays out now, because we have no clue what Natsuki's poem says. So I'll read the last few lines real quick. Okay, everyone, we're all done reading each other's poem, right? Actually, Natsuki and I haven't shared yet. Uh-oh, I can feel a storm coming on. Yuri hesitantly approaches Natsuki, who isn't meeting her eyes. Is she still angry with Yuri? It wouldn't be out of character for her to be. Although, judging by Monika and Sayori's anxious expressions, I feel like something else is amiss. I'm gonna actually read through this to see what happens. So, Natsuki, if I may... how about we do this tomorrow instead? I'm not feeling well. It's my time of the month. I can practically see Monika internally face-palming. Natsuki must have forgotten that the club isn't all girls anymore. Is that so? I'm sorry, you must feel absolutely terrible if you can't even share your poem today. You don't need to apologize, it's not your fault. I can definitely share tomorrow, though. Well, even if you aren't well enough to share your own poem, would you like to see mine? I, wrote it thinking of our argument the other day. I suppose that I wanted to show you that I'm more open-minded than I might have appeared. As a way of repenting. I know it's not much, but hopefully this can contribute to reconciliation between us. Although we may have our disagreements, I would like to consider you a friend. And friends forgive each other. I'm sorry if that sounds presumptuous of me to say. No, it's not presumptuous of you to say that. Because I'd like to consider you a friend too. So you can hand that poem over then. With a shy smile, Yuri hands the sheet of paper in her hands over to Natsuki. As Natsuki reads the poem, her eyes widen. You're writing using rhyme and stuff? Like me? You could say that you've convinced me to practice adding more lyricism to my poetry. Natsuki looks like she's speechless for once. Thanks, Yuri. It's awesome. There's really no need to thank me. Well, I'm really glad that I got to know you. And I'll definitely have something that'll knock your socks off tomorrow. Then I'll be looking forward to that. I do hope you feel better tomorrow as well, so that you can share your work with me then. Yeah, of course. That was a crisis and a half avoided. Okay, sure is gonna skip ahead here. And then we come to the part where we talk about the poetry performance for the festival. And Yuri and Natsuki are vehemently against it. Let's see. And then we get here, lost in thought, I don't even notice how quiet Sayori's being, and so we're almost back home. I'm gonna save right here, actually. So I'm not sure how this would affect the outcome of the game. I'll go with this because it's different from last time. Just like in vanilla, Sayori asks us if we would walk home with Yuri. If we would walk home with Yuri if we had the chance instead of her. Walking home with Yuri, huh? Why does the thought of that make my heart pound? I mean, given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. You admitted it! Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. Don't you think that maybe she'd be more fun to walk home with? I frown. Where did this come from? What? I mean, it could be interesting, I guess. But even if I did walk with her, it's not like she'd be replacing you or anything. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off and I'm left feeling awkward. It was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take it away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Sayori and I part ways without saying another word. I reach my house and open the door. And then Protag talks about how it's kind of concerning hearing Sayori talk like that. Because he doesn't know the truth. I'm just gonna plop this right here. Oh, okay. There we go. All right, what time is it? 1:08. We're making good time. We're almost through the first act, I think. All right, here we go. Melancholy, Starscape, Sensation, Unstable, Unending, Whirlwind, Imagination. Despise, Abstract, Mausoleum, Contamination, Intellectual, Tenacious, Text Message, Yuri? Bro, are you insane? She's evil. Oh, I know it. She's also like my least favorite character, but we've already done the other two girls, so that's where we're at. Also, hello, welcome. Anyway, Journey, Uncontrollable, Determination, Unrestrained, Anxiety. Ah, we almost had the perfect run, and I ruined it at the very end. Fickle. That was almost a perfect Yuri run. All right, let's go ahead and save it. I'm overwriting my saves, by the way, because we're literally just fast-forwarding through the first part of the game, more or less. So I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, this is the part of the game where Sayori's having a bad day. Monica talks about how she's learning piano. We're like, yo, Sayori, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm totally fine. Don't worry about it, but she's not. And so we talk to Monica about it. Monica goes to talk to her. I do Monica, and she's also evil. Exactly. Don't get me wrong, I like Yuri as a person. Just like, amongst these girls, she's the least interesting one. IMO. IMO. By the way, before today's stream, I actually did go through and speedrun Natsuki's route again. Because I'm on a different computer now, so that save data is gone. So I quickly speedrun Natsuki's route just so we'd have the data in case there's something to unlock later. Anyway, this is new. So we're sitting and waiting for Monica to finish talking with Sayori. For some reason, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice that Yuri is peering over her book at me. Realizing that she's staring, she timidly hides behind her book. We've all been there, am I right? Did she overhear the stuff about Sayori? Perhaps she can help. I walk over to where Yuri's sitting and slide into the desk next to her. I'm sorry if I was distracting you. I didn't mean to stare at you like that. Yuri, it's okay. You're not bothering me at all. She sighs, appearing somewhat relieved. I see. Well, I couldn't help but notice you were deep in thought. Is there something on your mind, Sefchi? Well, yes, actually, but how could you tell? She gently flicks a page in her book back and forth, rubbing her thumb gingerly against the corners. She gets a paper cut. It burns like hell. Now she has the plague, and she's dead. Bad end. I'm usually alone with my thoughts. Ew, that got really British. I'm usually alone with my thoughts, so I know what to look for. Not that I was specifically watching you or anything. Oh dear, I hope you don't think that's weird of me. Don't worry about it. I think being perceptive is kind of cool. Perhaps you could help me with something, Yuri. Her curiosity peaks. She folds the page she was reading, something to mark it for later, then shuts the book and turns it to me. Yuri, the book lover, also dog-ears her books? What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Everyone in this club is a monster. I'm not even a book person, and I know that you don't do that. Just get a bookmark already. They're like $1, maybe. Are you sure I'm the right person for that? I do. You seem to have your head on the right. Blech. You seem to have your head on right, so you'll probably give me great advice. Yeah, my voice crack. I see. Well, I'll do my best, I suppose. Okay, so I guess the main issue is actually her bookmark is a knife. Spoilers? Come on, we're not there yet. But we already know that she likes knives, so whatever. I'm kidding. I jest. I jest. Okay, so I guess the main issue is actually... Have you noticed anything up with Sayori? Sayori? Although, if you had a bookmark for a knife, that'd be a terrible bookmark because it would, like, destroy the book. Unless you put it in with, like, the knife blade facing out, away from the spine. But then it wouldn't sit in there properly, and I'm thinking about this too much. She glances over to Sayori, who's totally oblivious to what's happening around her. Yeah, things just seem really different, you know? Like, she's not herself. I tried to ask her about it, and she just told me she was tired, but I'm not so sure. Yuri idly taps at her book with a finger, apparently thinking things over. That must be quite worrying for you. I'm sorry to hear she's not feeling well. Forgive me if this isn't an appropriate question, but do you mind me asking how long you've known each other? Gosh, as long as I can remember, really. We hung out a lot as kids, but as we got older, we kind of drifted apart. Since I've been coming to the club, though, I've had the opportunity to spend a bit more time with her. Yuri nods contemplatively. Okay, well, perhaps she doesn't feel comfortable sharing what's ailing her. That's not to say she doesn't think of you as a good friend. You just, haven't really seen much of each other recently, have you? Forgive me if that sounds too harsh. I place my hand on Yuri's shoulder, and I fucking slap her with the other way. She tenses up for a split second, but quickly eases down again. Yuri, trust me. If you were bothering me, I'd tell you. You need to stop apologizing so much. It's really okay. Sorry, I mean, fuck. I let out a soft laugh. She's very sincere. It's quite endearing. I understand where you're coming from, though. Perhaps I'll need to work my way up to that level of connection with her again. Yuri folds her arms and tilts her head to the side, allowing her long, violet hair to droop down over the desk. Sefchi, have you heard of the proverb about our three masks? Huh? I don't think I have. Well, to put it simply, every person has three different faces. The first is how we present ourselves to people in public, strangers, passers-by, that sort of thing. The second is how we present ourselves to our close friends and family, the ones we hold dear to our hearts. And the last is reserved only for oneself. It's our truest representation of our being that no one else can possibly interpret. That's actually pretty amazing. Yuri truly seems to know what she's talking about. Notice that I said how we present ourselves and not how we feel. I think perhaps the way Sayori acts and the way she feels aren't necessarily the same. I think I understand, but what makes you bring that up? You felt as though something wasn't right from the beginning, correct? Maybe your intuition is trying to guide you towards that conclusion on its own. Of course, that's just my perspective, and it's entirely possible that I'm looking too much into it. Although, I must admit, I am curious about her seemingly sudden attitude shift. I wonder what could have caused it. I assume you don't know of any potential events that could have had an impact on her life, do you? Nothing comes to mind, although, as you said earlier, I'm not sure if she told me anyway. Yep, I think I skipped something. Nope, I didn't. She turns to face me, wearing a plaintive smile. I understand this might be quite frustrating for you, Sefchi. You want to help her, but she won't let you. But sometimes there's only so much you can do. For now, your best bet would be simply to let her know you're there for her without prying. I'm sure she would open up to you when she feels comfortable doing so. She's lucky to have such a thoughtful person looking out for her. Friends like that are quite hard to come by these days. Monica said something similar to me just now. I rubbed the back of my neck in embarrassment. You guys give me too much credit. I'm just doing what any friend would do, right? There's nothing extraordinary about what I'm doing for Sayori. So humble. Anyway, do you mind if we do some reading? I can't do anything else for Sayori, so I might as well take my mind off of it. I feel like I'm reading too fast. I can't do anything else for Sayori, so I might as well take my mind off it. Of course. I thought we could carry on with Portrait of Markov. If that's okay with you, that is. Yeah, sure, that'll do fine. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say thanks. For listening to me, I mean. You've been super supportive, even though this stuff doesn't really have anything to do with you. So, I really appreciate it. You're a genuine person, Yuri. You're a genuine human. Definitely not a lizardman. Not to mention, you've got cool taste in literature. I don't know what to say. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, sorry. It's just that you're really mature and insightful, and for someone like me who wasn't very good with emotions, you really hit the nail on the head. Sorry, I'm just not really used to people being so nice. Lizard man? Lizard woman. I frown. That's kind of a surprising. Yeah, I frown. That's kind of surprising. Sure, she's a little quiet, but she's really got her heart in the right place. It's okay. I should have been a bit more mindful. Shall we start reading? If you wouldn't mind, thank you, though. I'm glad you joined the club, by the way. Silence. Deafening silence. Skip. Alright, Yuri. Sefchi, it amazes me every time you show me new composition. Oh, wonderful silence. Wonderful silence! Your poetry is phenomenal. I can't fathom how you're able to write this so naturally. The words flow through the page with vigor. It even makes me feel somewhat jealous. It seems so easy for you, whereas I find myself stressing about each piece. Yuri, I don't think that's entirely accurate. I have already admitted earlier in my mind that I am writing this just to impress you. I don't have an innate talent for writing. But I do know an incredibly skilled writer whose work motivates me to do my best. You know, maybe... You know, there's no one you know. She's like a girl with long hair, very elegant, very quiet, pretty. And that's you, Yuri. Actually, I skipped lines. I just clicked without thinking about it. My goodness. Yuri gently smiles to herself, closing her eyes. This feeling... I had no idea that sharing my poetry would feel like this. It's so freeing. I'm alive! And she just rips off all her clothes and just runs out the door. It's like, Yuri, come back! Running after her with her clothes and lingerie, just like, get up, Jerry, put your clothes back on! You gotta put your pants back on, you're too naked, you can't be out here naked, that's weird! In your mind, not your character's mind. No, in MC's head, inner monologue, he said, he admitted that he was writing it to impress Yuri. That is, like, literally exactly what we're doing. It's so freeing. Yeah, it really is. I still can't believe you've never shared your writing before now. I think so many people would love to see your work. You say that, but I'm not sure I'm not sure it's that simple. Eh? How so? Well, it's okay, let her be a nudist if she wants to, bro. Look, she can be a nudist, that's fine, but she has to do it in her house, okay? It's legal to be naked outside. Public nudity is a crime. That is a misdemeanor. I think. I'm about to get put on the watch list. Hang on. Indecent exposure. Indecent exposure is a legal expression that describes deliberate public exposure by a person or a portion of their body in a manner contrary to local standards of appropriate behavior. Laws and social attitudes regarding indecent exposure vary significantly in different countries. It ranges from outright prohibition to prohibition of exposure of certain body parts, such as the genital area, buttocks, or breast. United States. The laws governing indecent exposure in the United States vary according to the location. In most states, checking chat real quick. Okay, in most states, public nudity is illegal. However, in some states, it is only illegal if it is accompanied by an intent to shock, arouse, or offend other persons. I'm glad I'm not putting this on the screen right now because this woman's boobs are absolutely out in this picture. Very glad I did not put that on the screen. But I'm fairly certain public nudity is a misdemeanor. Anyway, you say that, but I'm not sure it's that simple. And how so? Well, Yuri looks out of the window wistfully. Sefchi, do you know what I do in the afternoons? I like to find a quiet spot to eat lunch by myself. It's a wonderful time to reflect on things without distraction. In fact, I'm also able to catch up on my reading. Do you know why I enjoy reading so much, Sefchi? There are so many amazing types of people within the pages. People who might infatuate you, or perhaps someone who can make you smile in your darkest moments. It might sound pathetic, but it makes me feel better about my solitude. It's almost as if I have my own group of friends. Is that weird? I don't have to worry about disappointing them. They don't find joy in deriding me. And they don't hate me for acting so insufferably pretentious. Yuri, do people really say those things about you? People might think I'm haughty or that I'm a know-it-all, but in actuality, I know nothing useful about the world. I might be able to tell you what defines a Shakespearean sonnet, but I'm totally lost when it comes to socializing. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that it became apparent that something was missing. You. Me? Are you sure? I hate me. It's like, there ain't nothing special about me, no ma'am. I'm just an idiot who talks on stream in funny voices. Me, are you sure? Yes. The fact that you're willing to be patient with me, it really means a lot to me. I know there's so many things wrong with me, Sefchi. My diction is irritatingly slow. I'm never able to find confidence in my own opinions. And I look for hidden depths where they don't exist. Me watching movies. But despite all of that, you didn't leave me. Sefchi, I can count on one hand the number of people I feel comfortable talking to. You're one of those people. And, I'm so grateful for that. I can count the number of people on one hand, but I have like 15 fingers on one hand, so you know, it's... That is really creepy. Yeah, I know, it's a weird birth defect, but like... It's just an interesting part of me. You could probably like get that fixed with like plastic surgery or something. I've had people look at it, but no one wants to touch it. They're scared it's like radioactive or something. Oh. Well, anyway. Shut up and kiss me, says the streamer. Just shut up and kiss me. Just kiss me already. Come on. Just shut up and kiss me already. Just shut up and kiss me. Just put your lips on my lips and stick your tongue in my mouth. Oh my god. Just do it already. God. Shut up and kiss me. Alright, anyway. And, I'm so grateful for that. I see. Well, in my eyes, you're an incredible person. It'd be weird if I didn't treat you nicely, you know? I joined this club hoping to meet some new people, and I'm glad I got to meet you. Yes. I'm glad that I got to meet you too. Yuri hides her face in her hands. However, I noticed she is smiling this time. Do you want to show me your poem? Yes. Yes, I do. Let me get it for you. This is different. Heartbeat. Actually, I think I know what this is going to be, so... Okay, that's too far. Too far is never too far. This is more appropriate to read in series voice. Heartbeat. Pounding eyes, exasperation. Flowing, liquid conflagration. Rhythmic pulse of candid blush. Delicate notes, thoughts that rush. A considerate quail, quietly quelled. Sleeping ribbons of bliss excelled. Careful hearts are wild and flimsy. Patched or broken on ultimate whimsy. Nebulous traits of dainty tracks. Final thoughts, no turning back. Irrepressible, fervent drive to breathe. Kindness calmed that will never leave. Exalted glow of fluorescent moss. Graceful steps of love and loss. Of love or loss. Happy thoughts or hidden grief, a cautiously cut crimson leaf. Thrashing thread of an untamed gaze, cacophonous chaos of hearts ablaze. Sparkling sounds of silent desire from strawberry rhythms that never tire. I thought the reason you joined this club is because you sold your soul to a cupcake. Yeah, it's true, actually. Oh, one more reason why Yuri is evil is because she writes in cursive. That is true. You weren't here for it the first time, but I had some trouble reading the second poem. I saw a word that I'd never seen before, and I was just like, is that an N or an R? Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. I didn't do anything wrong, did I? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems usually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. Maybe it's hypocritical of me, but I'm not sure if I can explain this one. Don't worry. The meaning is pretty clear to me. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. You must have put a lot of thought into this one, huh? Yuri nods. Well, I'm really happy that you showed me this poem, so thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. A small smile plays across Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to him, but instead, Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is, Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. Speak, woman! Use your words! Send a message from the brain down to the esophagus, to the vocal cords, make them vibrate, and then make guttural noises and open your lips so that they come out. La 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 la. Like that. Speak, damn it! Sorry. Too many big words. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Yuri smiles again. There's something so pure about it. You always know what to say, Sefchi. Perhaps someday I can make you feel good too. Yeah, I'd like that. Lewd. Yuri finally turns back toward me. We should probably think about sharing with the others. But I'll see you later, won't I? Yeah, I promise, Yuri. With that, Yuri pivots around on her heel, making her way back to a desk. Aw, cute. Look, I know I said Yuri's my least favorite, but I don't hate her or anything. I think she's cute. Lets you keep a poem. So lewd. No, I was talking about... Hang on, where is it? Right here. Perhaps someday I can make you feel good, too. I have a dirty mind. Anyway. Skip? I'm fully aware that she didn't nap at all. This is only different because it's Yuri telling us instead of Natsuki. It's pretty much the same line as in Natsuki's route, which we've already done before. So skip it. This should be different. Yeah, no thanks. Wait, what? You didn't even... Next! Alright. And Monica. Okay, and now we're going over plans for the festival. If you haven't played this before, the difference here, okay, is that Sayori is actually in the running this time. She's making goodie bags. So you can choose to spend the day with Sayori. If you pick Monica, they still don't let you go with her because Monica doesn't really need any help. If you pick Sayori, there's almost resistance to it, but then everyone's like, nah, it's cool. We gave you the choice and you pick her. That's fine. We'll make do. And they just let you do it. I almost feel like they just... If you, in the canon lore of the game, they all just know that you and Sayori are meant for one another, and they're just like, no, you go spend time together this Sunday. It's cool, guys. Get those goodie bags done, and then get your goodies on. It's such a weird euphemism. Hang on, I have to remember the command for adding quotes. Add quote. I need to add this as a quote. Get those goodie bags done. Then get your goodies on. Whoops, hang on. Then attribute it to me. There we go. There we go. Quote 27. Get those goodie bags done, then get your goodies on. I love that. That's really funny. Oh, that's so stupid that I'm going to forget it tomorrow, but I love that. Anyway, so yeah, we go over who's going to do what for the festival. And of course, we're going to help Yuri. Well, I'll probably be most useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you...
Okay, everyone. Natsuki. I can already tell you're about to say something mean.
No. I was just saying...
So, you'll be helping Yuri then, Sefji?
Yeah. If that's okay with you, Yuri. Of course. Sorry, I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. Your assistance will be much appreciated.
Okay, well, let's start it then.
Bro, that voice changer, though. There's a story behind it. I've told a lot of... I just realized we're almost up to 6,000 views. Holy shit, that's cool. Anyway, just to briefly summarize it, I used this voice changer to pull a prank on my buddy John, John Ball TV, when he played through Doki Doki on stream, the vanilla version. It was very funny. So for the last stream he did of the game, because I arranged it so that I was the one voicing Monica during his playthrough, and for the last stream, I made an alt Twitch account that was just named Monica, and an alt Discord account that was also Monica, and then I RP'd as Monica for the entire stream until John deleted her. It was great. And this stream just starts off with, "Hey, where's Colin? He should be here by now, right?" And then suddenly, Monica has followed. Thank you for the follow, Monica. And just, "Hey, John, it's me, Monica. I see you're playing Doki Doki. You mind if I join you?" "Oh, don't worry. I'll let myself into your Discord." And because I'm a mod in John's Discord, I invited the alt account in, and she just joins the Discord, and she's like, "Oh my god." It was incredible. Oh, I put a lot of work into that one. I straight method acted for like hours. It was great. It was a lovely day. Anyway, yeah, I used the voice changer to help it. My goal is to make it sound like... My goal is to make my voice sound a little more feminine than I can actually pull off, and also make it sound a little robotic, as if she's broken out of the game. But anyways, yeah, that's the story behind the voice changer for, like, I think the 15th time now. Maybe even more than that. Anyway, back to this.
Natsuki, will you rather handle the baking by yourself?
I mean, yeah. I already said it'd be fine.
Okay. How about you, Sayori? We can work together if you want.
I think I'll be okay, thanks.
What an independent bunch you all are.
So, is that everything we need to go over?
Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited?
Well, excited may not be the right word. But I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. She glances shyly in my direction.
Do you feel the same way, Sefji?
Yeah, I haven't really made any banners before, and I don't know much about aromatherapy, whatever that. Oh, you're talking about something else, are you? So it'll be a new experience for me. I'm sorry in advance if I'm not very useful, Yuri. No, there's nothing to worry about. I appreciate you offering to help me in the first place. I feel like somehow Yuri's voice is slowly changing to become a cross between Monica's and hers. Yuri's voice is supposed to be a little more airy, a little more breathy. Good to know. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's the spirit, guys. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki?
I'm just looking forward to making all the cupcakes. Those new students better appreciate them, or I swear to God. I will do unspeakable, terrible things to all of them.
I'm sure they won't. I'm sure they will, don't you worry. After all, they look just as nice as they taste.
There's a general murmur of agreement. I have a little surprise in mind with the cupcakes that I think everyone will... I have a little surprise in mind with the cupcakes that I think everyone will like.
Aw, what'd that be?
Natsuki rolls her eyes. It's called a surprise for a reason, Baka. You'll find out on Monday.
Of course, how silly of me to forget. Anyway, there's nothing more to discuss for today. Everyone knows what they're doing, so I'll see you all on Monday with your festival stuff. Oh, sorry, before I go, Sayori, anything you want to add?
Sayori has been awfully quiet. If I wasn't so worried about her, I might have forgotten she was in the room.
No, I'm okay, thanks. I'm looking forward to what your little mystery is, Natsuki.
As Natsuki and Monica leave, Sayori turns to Yuri and I.
Oh, and Sefchi, Yuri? I hope you two have fun.
She giggles as she walks out the door. She knows. She knows. Hang on, we're meant to walk home together. As I move forward to intercept her... I'm gonna butcher this and I'm sorry. Moblolop, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the cause. So many new follows today. I'm excited about this. Oh, they will appreciate the cupcakes. They all have cyanide in them. It's like,
Oh man, Natsuki, those cupcakes look great. You mind if I try one?
no, you shouldn't do that. They're for the new kids. Anyway, as I move forward to intercept her, I feel a light tap on my shoulder. It's Yuri, looking incredibly sheepish. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you or anything. It's just, I realized we have no way of contacting each other this weekend. I forgot myself, actually. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Do you, want my mobile number? I think that would be best. I think that would be the best way, yes. Okay, here you go. We exchange numbers. As I add her name to my list of contacts, I realize how small my contact list actually is. Apart from Sayori and my parents, it's basically empty. A reminder of how life was before joining this club. Okay. Sefchi? Huh? Sorry, must have spaced out a little. Oh, look, more frame drops, yay. It's okay. I was just saying I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Eh? My house? Sunday? My house? Eh? Dropping by? Why? Is that a problem? No, not at all. Fuck, I gotta clean up the porn. I just thought I'd be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house so I can go through your underwear drawer. Oh, yeah, I guess that's fine. I decided not to press Yuri for a reason. I guess it's not really that important either way. I just need to make sure my room is clean. I hope I can actually contribute to whatever you have in mind, Yuri. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Sefchi. I think that we'll make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait, you don't actually think that, do you? Underwear drawer, knife drawer. No, straight up, like, in the original vanilla game, she does something in your room. I don't know exactly what she does, but she does something. Like, when you walk out of the room and come back, you come back to her blushing, she's like, oh, hey, what's going on? He's like, your face is flushed, are you okay? No, I'm totally fine, let's just get back to what we were doing. And then just brushes it off. I don't know if she's like, if she like cuts herself, or if she looks in the drawer that you tell her not to look in, or if it's something else. But she does something in there. So I'm curious to see if they keep that in. Yeah, maybe we'll get to see a little more about it in this version of the game. Anyway, you don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's just what I wanted to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Besides, you helped me a lot with Sayori earlier. I have to return the flavor somehow. Oh, you really don't have to worry about that. I'm only teasing. I'd love to help you out. I always enjoy your company. Her face flushes a bright crimson. There's no way you sincerely mean that. Of course I do. You're a delight to be around, Yuri. I see. Forgive me, Sefchi. It's just, I rarely hear such kind things spoken so genuinely. I really can't understand why anyone would say mean things about her. Just because she keeps to herself, or because her interests deviate a little from the norm. Regardless, I really do want to spend my Sunday with you, Yuri. Can you believe me? She looks me straight in the eyes, deep in thought. It's almost as if I can see the gears turning in her head. After a brief moment, she sighs and nods. Yes, I believe you. I hope that we have an exceptional time together, Sefchi. I didn't mean for that to sound so serious. I'm doing it again. Yuri clears the throat. What I wanted to say was, I'm looking forward to Sunday. A gentle smile plays across her face. Me too, Yuri. I leave the club room, Yuri following behind me. Oh, trust me, they have their reasons. It looks like Sayori didn't wait up for me. She's probably at home by now. I can't help but feel guilty about not walking home with her, but maybe she does want to be left alone. Hang on. Sorry, I'm just curious about something. Sorry, I'm just curious. I want to see if this changes anything. I have to know. Vibrant, Starscape, Melancholy, Unending, Imagination, Pleasure, Intellectual, Nibble. Well, that's Natsuki. That's Sayori. Entropy, Universe, Daydream, fuck. Contamination, Nature, stop it. Ambience, Portraits, Misery. I'm just curious. I'm really curious to see if it changes. I'll try to make this quick. Yep, get through it. Oh, okay, sorry. I was trying to figure out why this line is here. It's because we talked to Natsuki first. Okay, that makes sense. I love that they add little details like that. I'm just curious to see if this plays out differently. No, they let me skip it. Okay. That's all I wanted. I was just curious. Okay. Oops. I meant to click history, not the thing. I can't help but feel guilty about not walking home with her, but maybe she really does want to be left alone. It certainly helped explain why she seemed to shrug off my attempts to help her, right? But I feel like something's off. I wish I could just focus on what's going on in front of me. Do-do, boo, boom, boom, boom. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's already Sunday, and I'm already saving. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I have to make sure all my porno mags are hidden away properly, where she will never find them. Right under the couch cushion. Second couch cushion to the left. Yes. Perfect. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri's clearly an introvert and also an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. I peek out of my window and notice... Yuri? She's not supposed to be here for a little while. I go downstairs and open the front door. I was worried this was the wrong house. I probably should have asked about it earlier. No, it's okay. You're a bit early, though. Like... 4 hours early. But that's alright. I'm glad I took the time to tidy things up before she arrived. If she'd arrived early and seen all the porno mags that I hadn't hidden yet, I would have been really embarrassed. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. I suppose I was just a bit anxious that I'd followed your directions wrong. You could have always texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. That line doesn't make sense in this context. I suppose that's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that. But I decided to ignore it. Yuri just is outside your window and is holding a boombox above her. It's like, wise men say only fools rush. Anyway, I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Well, I actually had a bit of trouble. Is that so? Yuri had texted me a list of art supplies yesterday, and I was supposed to pick them up for today. It probably works out better this way, since she'll be able to get exactly what she's looking for. Yeah, I like this. So instead of just spending all the time at the house, you actually, like, go out shopping with her first, which is cute. You actually, like, spend the day together. It's nice. Well, we should be able to take some things from the art room at school. As long as I could leave my things at your house first, I'd rather not carry them with me. Sure, no problem. I quickly opened up the front door to my house, and Yuri places her things just past it. That way, we'll see them as soon as we get back. Right then, shall we? The two of us briskly start walking to school. The weather is beautiful, and a light breeze blows throughout the streets. Yuri is rather quiet, but she doesn't seem to be annoyed. I've come to learn that she tends to appreciate things from afar, so her silence isn't too worrying. I'm the same exact way, which is why there's so many moments on stream where I'm just like dead silent while doing things. Oh, I'm a thinker, not a speaker. It's odd being at school on the weekends. The mood of the place feels totally different without the crowds of students around. Yuri leads me down a long corridor until we reach a large, imposing door. This should be it. With a slight creak, she opens the door and heads inside. Oh, I've never seen this CG before. This is new for the game. The mod. Cool. It looks very nice! The smell of dried paint lingers in the air. While not terribly large, this place should have what we're looking for. Okay, so we'll need a large cloth banner and some paints. Do you have brushes already? I think so. Couldn't hurt to get some more, though. Yuri strides through the classroom, a determined look on her face. It's a quite stunning contrast to how she appears. I kinda like it. She bends down and pulls a long, thick sheet of fabric from a shelf down below. With surprising haste, she folds it up into a neat bundle and tucks it under her arm. You know, Sefji. Yeah? Well... She closes her eyes, taking a deep, quick breath. I know we haven't even started yet, but this is nice. We're doing something so simple together, yet it feels so enrapturing. Huh? That's a bit forward, isn't it? Yuri seems to think so too, as her face flushes. I didn't mean for that to sound so serious. We're not even decorating yet, and I'm ruining things. She retreats into the deep purple shroud of her hair, fidgeting with the loose strands. Now this is the Yuri I'm more accustomed to. Yuri, I thought we went over this. You don't have to worry about that. I know, it's just your way of expressing how excited you are to start working on our part of the festival. And I'm excited too. It's just your way of expressing how excited you are about the festival and has nothing to do with you totally being crazy about me. Okay, if that's how you really feel. She nervously scans the shelves, picking out the various different paints we'll need. In the end, we spent a bit more time than I was expecting here. It seems Yuri really pays attention to the quality of what she wants. But if it'll make things go well with Yuri today, I don't mind. Right, shall we head back to my place and get started on this? Yes, we should have everything we need now. Once we arrive back at my house, I unlock the door and guide her up to my bedroom. There should be enough space for us to work on the banner up there. As soon as I open the door, Yuri wanders around my room curiously. Sefchi, your house is remarkably tidy. Don't find the porn. I cleaned it up before you came over, so don't look for the porn. Oh, you didn't have to do that just for me. No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you're here. With my thousands of porno mags scattered all over the floor. Don't look for my porn. I see. That makes sense after all. After all, a clear room makes for a clear mind, does it not? Cleaning can be very therapeutic. I would have been more than happy to have helped you. Please, what kind of host would I be if I left this place a tip? What? Is that a weird turn of phrase that I just don't know about? What kind of host would I be if I left my porn scattered all over the floor? Besides, I like to know where everything is in my room. Everything has its own place, you know? I keep the porn under my pillow. You didn't hear that. Yuri nods and walks over to my desk. She carefully studies the various collectibles I have set up on it. Suddenly, she reaches down and... Wait! Don't look in there! My backup porn is in there! I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. Do forgive me, Sefchi. I shouldn't be poking around the property of others. I don't know why I did that. It's okay, I just... really don't want you to see my porn, okay? Never mind. I'm glad I managed to catch her before she got a chance to look inside. There's things in there I'm not really comfortable sharing with others. It must be said, if only Sayori had a Juggernaut suit from Call of Duty, she'd be too heavy for the rope. Well, luckily this is the mod of Doki Doki Literature Club, and that doesn't happen in this story. But is very true. Although, trying to hang yourself with a Juggernaut suit on doesn't really make a lot of sense. They just don't make a lick of sense. Let me get some water real quick. By the way, I've said this before with Blue Skies. For some reason, I get really, like... Well, not extremely, but, like, slightly congested from this game in particular for some reason. I don't know. I feel like it makes my voice sound a little weird. Anyway, yeah, there's things in there I'm not really comfortable sharing with others. Not just my porn, but my toys. You know what I'm talking about, my adult paraphernalia. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She starts to fidget with her hands, gently squeezing them. So, what did you have planned, Yuri? Besides looking for my things. Yes. I thought about some ways we could transform the club room. From a club room to an Autobot. With the right atmospheric pieces, we could morph the world into our own citadel of scansion, our domain of declension, our... Yuri blushes. Perhaps she feels as though she got a bit carried away. That sounds... ambitious. What kinds of atmospheric pieces were you thinking of? Well... even something as simple as adjusting the lighting or employing aromatherapy could be wonderful. Wow. I'm impressed, Yuri. You've really put a lot of thought into this. It's nothing, really. I was just hoping that I could make our recital an event that plucks at the soul. Through our words, our visitors can experience our struggles and strive vicariously. That sounds intense. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah, no need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a cylindrical wooden object and places it on my desk. I thought about covering the windows up and having small candles provide the room's illumination. I think it would make our event much more of an intimate affair. Don't you agree? Yeah. The way Yuri's worded that sounds a bit forward, doesn't it? I choose not to press it, though. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, it's an oil diffuser. It's actually my personal one from home. Tell me, Sefji, how much do you know about aromatherapy? Just that it's bullshit and I hate it. Not as much as I'd like to. I'm a science man. Well, let me tell you about it a little bit. I believe the sense of an area can completely alter how we perceive it. Okay, that's actually true. That's scientifically proven. Being able to alter the aura of the room like that, there's something magical about it. Yuri opens it up and retrieves a tiny glass bottle from her bag alongside a bigger plastic one filled with water. She empties the larger bottle into the diffuser, then caps the tiny bottle and adds a few drops to it, then pushes a button. Within seconds, a delightful smelling mist delicately floats out of it. Sorry, I've been playing this game for 2 hours straight, and reading for 2 hours straight, and starting to lose it a bit. Where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, I've been talking nonstop for 2 hours straight with no breaks, so speaking getting hard. Within seconds, a delightful smelling mist delicately floats out of it. Wow, that smells wonderful. Oh god, it's an aphrodisiac. This is now a hentai. What was the stuff you were adding to it? I'm going to get, like, banned. It's my favorite essential oil. It's derived from the jasmine flower. It has a beautifully alluring scent, wouldn't you agree? It really does smell nice. Was there a particular reason you chose it? Well, while it's true that jasmine can aid relaxation, it has various other properties. It can enhance your emotions and stir the minds. What might simply be curiosity can grow into enrapturing awe and wonder. A mild interest can blossom into an exciting infatuation. I was kidding, okay? Some would describe it as an aphrodisiac, but I think that has more to do with the warm feelings it can give you. You're drawn in, your heart pounding along with the world around you. Doesn't that sound...
Pulchritudinous.
The fuck?
Pulchritudinous.
Pulchritudinous. I didn't even look up the meaning of the word. Hang on, wait. Anyway, doesn't that sound pulchritudinous to Sefji? What? Yeah, I think that'd be perfect. I'm not sure what that word means. I'm not sure what that word means, but based on her reaction, it must mean something good. You're quite an expert on this, aren't you? I'll trust your judgment. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. Then why the fuck did we buy it? What I'd like to do is write a different kanji character on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh, yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the kanji paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you'd put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. Is it just me, or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement that she feels from sharing something Or maybe it's the excitement that she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Okay, actually, it's not even my fault. That's just a tongue twister. There's too many S words in that sentence. Here's a marker, Sefchi. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I've finished cutting the ribbons. Oh, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to a desired length. Then she reaches into a bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Eh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's not a knife. That's no ordinary pocket knife. It looks really fancy.
Well...
Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it?
You're going to think it's weird.
Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know?
If you promise you won't be weirded out.
Yeah, I promise.
Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. And knives are kind of into you.
That was a gingham stroke. I can take credit for that one.
They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe? What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. You're laughing at me.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Laugh, damn it! It's just funny how nervous you get about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you.
Suits me?
Yeah, it's kind of intense. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that.
It is, isn't it?
Yuri relaxes her expression once again.
Would you like to hold it?
Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where'd you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow!
Sefchi! Why did you do that?
I didn't expect it to be that sharp. It barely touched it at all. Ow, fuck!
It's my fault. I should have warned you. This knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper.
Not that I've tested that.
Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. That's... She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. Where do you keep your first aid kit? We'll need to sterilize the wound, then wrap it to halt the blood flow. Do you have gauze? It should...
I raise my hand to cutting Yuri off. Yuri, I don't think it's that serious. I probably just need a bandage.
Yuri's pupils narrow, perhaps afraid that she went too far.
But I appreciate your concern. Will you be okay for a little while?
Oh, yes, of course.
Bonus scene, not seen in the original. I quickly run to the kitchen and rinse the cuts, then apply a small plaster. It stings a little, but that should be the worst of it. As I return, Yuri's eyes dart around the room, as though she were too embarrassed to look at me.
I went a bit overboard there. I'm sorry if I made things awkward, I just...
Yuri hangs her head shamefully. Yuri...
my parents were doctors, so...
Ooh, that's neat.
My parents were doctors, so I always tend to jump to the most severe conclusions when it comes to personal injury. I never know how to read the situation. I'm sorry for making you feel so out of place. In your own home, no less.
Yuri... She's way too harsh on herself. How can I fix this? It's really okay. Your heart was in the right place. She doesn't look up. I appreciate that you were concerned about me, but I'm fine, see? It was only a tiny nick. It's my fault anyway for being so careless with your knife.
I see.
The panic in her eyes evaporates, replaced by a calming stillness. Seeing her ease up a bit is reassuring. Maybe the oil diffuser is helping.
Thank you for being patient with me, Sefchi.
Yuri giggles shyly. That was really cute. I was definitely not expecting it. My face grows hot.
Yeah, no worries. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the kanji. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all...
It's almost over. I just gotta get through this.
After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. It looks better than I expected, and it seems like it'll be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Thanks. It's going to look wonderful, isn't it? Are you ready to move on to the next task?
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you have in mind? Well, remember the paints in the banner? I'd like to make something with that. Something to display in the club room.
Ah, that's right.
Yuri had made a big deal about fetching the banner from the art room. She must have been looking forward to this. Could you retrieve the paint and brushes from the other room? I can stay here and unravel the banner.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back. Thank you very much.
She is totally going to look in our drawer and see our porn and adult toys. Fuck!
I head downstairs and pick up the bag filled with acrylic paints. There's mixing palettes and several different colors. I stop to fill up a couple of cups with water for diluting the brushes afterwards, then go back upstairs.
Yuri?
Sefchi. As I open the door, Yuri is hurriedly lowering her sleeve over her arm. Nothing.
Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything?
No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's get to work. I can't shake the feeling that there's something she's not telling me, but I don't push the point further. So, I think if we did a color gradient across the banner, it would look wonderful. Starting with warm colors, then blending into darker shades. I thought a day to night cycle would be really pretty.
I love paintings with like day to night cycles. They're really nice.
Once it's finished, we could write something inspirational across it. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom.
Ah, neat.
What are you gonna write? Well, it'll be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. I kneel down on the opposite side of the banner as Yuri. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint.
This kind of reminds me of elementary school.
Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class project we had back then. It's relaxing.
Why am I so gassy when I talk too much?
If this is too mature for you, then I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know?
Yeah. It's suppose it is. I'm glad you feel that way, Sefchi. Yuri places her brush down, pondering to herself. Most people our age want to do wild things, but I'm usually more comfortable doing something soothing. I'm quite content with just a bit of company. Even if it's something simple, like reading, we don't need to be talking a lot.
Wow, I actually feel this really hard. I'm the exact same way.
Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer.
Yeah, I'm literally the exact same way. Like, as a kid, whenever I would have birthday parties, I would have friends over, and they would play video games while I would just sit in the other room and watch TV or something. And then, when they would leave, my parents would be like, "So, did you have a good time at your party?" And I was like, "Yeah, we should have them over next week. It'll be fun." They're like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't talk very much in my normal life. I'm a very quiet dude.
I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Same. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone else can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush. But I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Kia! Sorry! Yuri reels back and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? I don't think so. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me.
It's not your fault.
Your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. I return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with the towel. Is something wrong? It's warm. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hands. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Hold on a moment. Huh? Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening here? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist send a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly, her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again. But her movements seem clumsier, like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. And that should do it. I finish filling the night sky with white dots that look like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and natural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here, then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Oh no, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah. So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well... Yuri thinks to herself. I think it'd be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there'd be some more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So... I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all of her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. It sounded like she really gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted. Because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. I forgot you like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Sefchi. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? I don't want to make things awkward, but... I would like to spend more time with you as well, Sefchi. She takes a slow, deep breath and releases my hand. I I guess I'll see you tomorrow? Yeah, I'll see you at the festival. With one last smile, Yuri starts to head home. She looks back over her shoulder, but then quickly turns back around. I'm really grateful that I got to do this with Yuri. I enjoyed my time with her a lot. The way she said she simply enjoys having company, I understand exactly what she means. Tomorrow is going to be incredible. I just know it. Do, 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 do. I'm not sure if I want to just, like, keep going. Act 2 is literally right around the corner, so let's just, and I got about, like, 10 minutes. Yeah, we'll be fine. We can quickly get through Act 2. Okay. So I'm not gonna sit on this for very long. Here's what happens, okay? It's the day of the festival, and it plays out almost like, the same as last time. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. I smiled, putting my phone away. Her personality even shows through her texts. Sayori's alive and well. You're not dead. Great. She's carrying the gift bags. I believe we help her. And then we end up in the club room. Okay. We quickly, so we go ahead and go around and get ready. I put down the banner I'm holding and grab one of the pamphlets laid out on the desk. Monica shows us the pamphlets. Everyone else comes in. Yuri trails in behind her, clutching at a large duffel bag nervously. Yep, festival time, blah, blah, blah. We all start rushing to help each other. Yuri's on the floor, painting her inspirational quotes on the banner in white paint. I guess she figured out where I put the banner herself. Meanwhile, Sayori's hung up the kanji curtain in the doorway and is puzzling over the essential oil setup. A good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends. Yes, it's a quote by the German philosopher Friedrich. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Seems like a pretty fitting quote. Yes, I thought that would summarize our experiences in the club quite well. I'm finished with the lettering, so if you wouldn't mind, Sefchi. That is, could you help hold my chair steady as I pin this up? Of course! Yuri pulls up a chair up to the front of the classroom and climbs onto it, teetering slightly. She grips the banner tightly in her hands as she reaches up to attach it to the wall. The chair gives a threatening wobble, but luckily I managed to steady it. Ah! It's okay, Yuri, I got you. You don't have to worry about anything. You have nothing to worry about. Thank you. Is it just me, or does she look like she's starting to blush now? I feel my cheeks begin to heat up as well. I didn't say anything weird, did I? When I help her down from the chair after she's finished, she looks more bashful than ever. Man, how do I always make things so awkward? Looks like all the preparation's almost finished now. Okay, so now we get to the festival. And I'm just gonna really quickly summarize this, okay? The festival starts off all right, but then more people start coming in, but in time they just start talking and being rude, like throwing wrappers at each other from the cupcakes and such. And as you go on, the music starts to get a little different. And the room is, everyone in the room is being extremely rude. It's just, everything about this event is going wrong. And eventually there's a dude who pops up and he's like, Natsuki throws a temper tantrum at some point. I think we already passed it. But she's like, would you guys just fuck off already and shut up? And then one of the dudes like, whatever, man, we just came for the cupcakes anyway. And then a bunch of people just leave. Except for a few people who are like Monica's friends who came in. Including that black-haired girl we saw just now who is Shiori. And this is the end result of the room. Yep, and now Natsuki gets pissed off at Monica because she essentially forced us to do this, which is true. And then they get into an argument.
And now we were forced to pick a side. And because I just like the way the story turns out when you side with Natsuki, I'm going to side with Natsuki. But anyways, the conversation plays out for a little bit. And eventually Natsuki, somewhere in here, says, well, fuck you. We all know that Sayori would be a better president than you anyway. And she runs out. I think she leave. Maybe she doesn't leave. Okay. That was weird. She left in the one. Oh no! Wait, sorry. This isn't the one I'm thinking of. Okay. No, it's more interesting if you sat with Monica. Something tells me this is going to make me very unpopular with the Natsuki person for what comes next. So you sat with Monica. Yeah, she straight up just is like, we all know Sayori would be a better president than you anyway. And she leaves. And so we go up to the roof after her and talk to her. We have a nice talk. She's not really upset. I don't remember the specifics of the conversation, but it's a very nice conversation. Honestly, I'll just leave it for everyone else to figure out if you haven't played the game yet. You really just need to know that a big argument happens after this day. And then we wake up the next day, and we realize it's Friday. Or sorry, it's not the next day, it's like a week later. And because we're up so early on a Saturday today, for some reason, we decide to go outside. We go to the library, and I believe we find Monica. This is different from what happened before. And you know what? I might have... No. Oh, we've probably seen this with the Natsuki playthrough. She wants to be alone. We pull up... And then this is different. We pull out Portrait of Markov from our bag. I quickly flip to where I left off last night and begin reading. It's really quite a captivating book. If all the novels Yuri reads are like this, I can see why she'd be so absorbed in them all the time. Although maybe she's just rubbing off on me. I'm in the middle of a chapter when I feel a tap on my shoulder. Oh, Sefchi, is that you? Looking up from my book, I see Yuri standing over the other side of the table as if on cue. A thick dark book is snugly resting under her arm. I'm sorry if I startled you. I suppose I'm just a bit surprised to see you. Give me some credit, Yuri. I can enjoy a good book too. I didn't mean to insult you or anything, it's just... I was trying to make things more comfortable with humor, but predictably it fell flat. I should have remembered that Yuri tends to take those sorts of comments more to heart than other people might think. Relax, I was just kidding around. I see. Yuri's shoulders visibly relax. Would you mind if I asked what you were reading? Oh, sure, it's actually Portrait of Markov. Yuri's eyes light up at those words. Ah, I'm very glad you're liking it. That is, I assume... Don't worry, Yuri, it's a really good book. Yuri sighs a little in relief. Then I stand by my first statement, Sefchi. Anyway, speaking of books, if you're enjoying Portrait of Markov so much, I'd like to introduce you to other books like that. Yeah, that'd be great. I have full faith in your taste when it comes to books. A small smile plays across Yuri's face. Actually, I just had a thought. I know a wonderful place nearby that we could go to right now if you'd like. Huh? Really? Is it another library or something? I suppose it's related. It's my house. Well, lead the way. I wasn't doing much here anyway. Thank you for coming along despite the short notice. No, it's no bother at all. It's no bother at all, really. I can't read. Again, I can't help but feel amazed at how much Yuri's taking charge. It's really quite nice seeing her break out of her shell a bit. She does have an air of mystery about her still, but I guess I'll start learning a bit more about her as each day passes. The two of us start heading away from the library, and I need a drink of water. So, where are we headed, Yuri?
I intended for it to be a surprise. Do you not like surprises? If so, you have my deepest apologies.
Nah, it's fine. I'm just curious, that's all. This is like some sort of adventure, huh?
Well, I suppose if that's how your imagination wants to interpret it, I'd be inclined to agree.
Even though I'm currently with Yuri, this situation reminds me of the times I used to spend with Sayori back when we were kids. Always running around the neighborhoods, acting like we were on some grand adventure. Sayori. I haven't spoken to her since the festival fiasco. Maybe it'd be a good idea to...
Sefchi, is everything alright? You seem to have spaced out a bit.
Ah, it's nothing. I'm just thinking about things.
I see. Well, we're almost there, just a little bit further to go.
Continuing onwards, we pass through some trees until we come to a small clearing. Oh, wow. Before us is an amazing sparkling lake. Gentle waves dance delicately across the surface, carried by the soft wind.
Isn't it wonderful?
It's lovely. I've always liked this pond.
Oh? You've been here before then?
Sayori. Years and years ago, that is.
I see. Well, Sefchi, I don't know about you, but I find that this place is the perfect place to come to when I need a bit of space to myself.
Oh? Do you come here often then?
Not as often as I did when I was younger. For a split second, a pained expression crosses Yuri's face. Some days
She shakes her head.
Anyway, perhaps I can give this to you.
Yuri reaches into a bag and pulls out a moderately sized book.
Here, I think you'll enjoy this one.
Yuri, you didn't have to go out of your way for me for the whatever.
It's okay. I've read this one so many times. It could do with a new owner. Besides, the best thing about a story is how it can be shared. No matter who reads it, you're never going to find two people with the same exact opinion. And, well...
Yuri nervously plays with her hair.
After you've been so kind to me, I wanted to do something nice for you too.
I see. Well, thank you very much. I'll definitely give this a read and let you know what I think. I turn over the book in my hands. The cover is hard and glossy, the pages showing small signs of wear. God, all of a sudden we just dropped all the frames. I feel like the longer streams go on for, the more frames I drop. Maybe that's it. I guess Yuri wasn't lying. She must have read this book at least 50 times. I wonder what makes this story so important. As I turn back toward her, I notice how intently she's staring at the lake's gentle surface. When was the first time you came here? She looks over at me quizzically. You said this place was special to you, right? I want to know why you feel that way.
Right.
She sighs and leans on the wooden guardrail. I quietly stand by her side.
Well, I suppose one day...
Well, wow, we just dropped a shit ton of frames there. Oh my god, the bitrate just died. What the fuck? Alright, hang on. I need my bitrate to come back. Come back to me, bitrate. Stop killing my stream charter. Okay.
Well, I suppose one day, when I was younger, things were particularly hard. Do you ever have those days, Sefchi, where nothing seems like it can be good again?
That's pretty dark, isn't it? Goodbye, bot. So, something about this place makes you feel better?
Not quite. I just came here one day. I'm not absolutely certain how I found this place, but I remember running a lot. Before I knew it, I was out here. In the sea of chaos, things felt serene. However briefly they might have. Everyone needs a place they can call their own, somewhere they can decompress without worrying whether or not someone will intrude on them.
And here is that place for you. Yuri nods.
It's peaceful here. The sound of the water playfully lapping at the shoreline, the plush grass below, and the nurturing trees above, providing a loving shelter to embrace me in the midst of the elements. It's the kind of thing I really missed.
Have you shown this place to anyone else besides me? Like your parents? Yuri pauses, staring in front of her, nothing in particular.
I might have. This is the kind of place my father would have enjoyed. He used to do watercolors in his spare time, you see.
Does he not do it anymore? Are we gonna find out her parents are dead? That's gonna be really fucked if we do. Yuri doesn't respond. Damn it, Sefji. Maybe you could bring him down here sometime. It might give him that bit of inspiration he needs to get going again.
That's a good idea, Sefchi. I'll have to.
Her parents are totally dead.
I'll have to do that.
Hopefully he enjoys it as much as I am right now. This place is really incredible. Yuri smiles softly.
I'm glad. Maybe sometime we could come by again.
Yeah. We could bring like a blanket or something and have a picnic.
That sounds nice.
I'll hold you to that. Yuri giggles.
I'll look forward to it.
I feel my face flush at the idea. My face. A picnic with Yuri. There's something so playful about it. I chuckle to myself at the image in my head. Yeah, that would be nice. The two of us continue to pass the time, looking over the lake. I'm surprised at how content I am to just sit here with Yuri. Normally, I'd want to do something a bit more exciting, but right now, I'm perfectly fine with this calmness. However, Yuri begins to shift uncomfortably. Yuri? Is everything okay? She jumps, apparently not expecting that.
Yes, there's just something I need to do that I just remembered.
She quickly gets up, nervously picking at the cuff of her sleeve. She's going to cut herself with a knife.
I'm sorry to leave on such short notice. Please don't think ill of me.
Yuri.
Huh?
I stand up to meet her at eye level. You've really got to work on your self-confidence. You apologize a lot for things that aren't even your fault. It must be so difficult having that going through your head all the time. Yuri looks around her, unsure of how to respond.
You're really too kind, Sefchi.
I mean it. You're a wonderful person, Yuri.
Yuri blushes slightly. Well, shall we head back now?
Only if you promise you'll be a bit kinder to yourself, okay?
I'll try. Thank you for coming to see the lake with me today, Sefchi.
Thanks for inviting me. I had a lot of fun today. I'll see you on Monday, okay?
Yes. See you then, Sefchi.
What the fuck? My stream is literally crashing. What is happening with the internet? God, this is annoying. Okay. I'm gonna read back through those last couple lines just in case it dropped. Because it dropped to literally 0. I think the stream actually died for a second.
Only if I promise you'll be a bit kind to yourself, okay? I'll try.
Thank you for coming to see the lake with me today, Sefji. Thanks for inviting me. I had a lot of fun today. I'll see you on Monday, okay?
Yes, see you then, Sefji. Let me know what you think of that book. It's very dear to me.
Oh my god, this bit rate. We're just gonna have to power through it, okay? Of course. Take care. With a polite wave, Yuri walks away. I'm happy I got to spend more time with her, but I hope she's doing okay. I feel like there's something she's not telling me. I'm probably just overthinking things again. Maybe I should just crack open the book Yuri gave me. Sick. Yeah, I'm really sorry about the bitrate, by the way, guys. I don't know what's happening with it. Act 2, Alone Together. In this twisted plot I was destined for, I'm an astronaut on the ocean floor. Weird, but okay. Oh my god, I love this. This looks beautiful. So every character has their own background for their own route. This is Yuri's. That looks really pretty. Okay, we're gonna save right here. And quit the game. And that's gonna be the stream for today, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I'll read through events in a second, but first thing first, I just want to quickly say that tomorrow we will be playing this again. What time did I say I was going to do that at? Hang on. Yep, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, we will be continuing this. So if you want to come back for more, please do. I'll be doing this both tomorrow and Sunday. And then I'll take a break in the middle to like make sure all the VODs get up so people can catch up if they miss something. Excuse me. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that'll be happening tomorrow, and then I have to finish getting the schedule together for the rest of the week, next week. But I have some stuff coming down the pipeline. Because my bitrate keeps dying on me, let's go ahead and quickly read off the events from today, and then find someone to send you guys to. Abielto 12, I think that's how I pronounce it. Abielto 12, thank you for the follow and also for the host. Carlix99, my boy, thank you for the host. And Moblolop, thank you for the host. Or sorry, for the follow. My bad. Thank you guys so much for following. It means a lot to me when people follow. The fact that anyone watches this shit is incredible to me. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. All right. Yeah, so of course, like, you know, same old deal over here. Follow if you enjoyed this. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to catch the VODs. I should have this up. Well, I say I'm going to have this up, but lately Twitch has been having problems. Twitch literally won't let me export things to YouTube, so I have to figure that out. But I should have it up sooner or later. Like, by Sunday for sure, I would say I'll have this up. Yeah, also join the Discord. I'm bad at outros. Can't do intros, can't do outros. Join the Discord because that's where I talk to people, and I always try to make sure people know an hour before the stream when we're doing stuff. You know, just to give people a reminder. Follow me on Twitter at SFG100, of course, because I sometimes say funny things. And yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Let's find someone to host.